Hello, Stacy. And apparently only Stacy. Hello to you and only you, apparently. How's it going? Yeah. Had therapy today, so then I slept in late. Went back to bed. Hey, PK. So after my therapy, I went back to bed and slept way later than I'd intended to. It's alright. Alright, I forgot that it's Thanksgiving. Yes, so I might not get... I might have even fewer viewers than normal, might I? I might get even fewer viewers than I normally get on my visual novel streams. Well, oh well. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Hey, Joel. I'm curious if how many people will end up showing up, since it is American Thanksgiving. Megan the Stallion likes Nickelback, apparently. Drunk off vodka, right? And turkey. Good times, good times. Mashed potato. Scorpion Bowl. Wish you could share a plate with me. Yeah, I had mine a month ago. I'll have more. She does? Apparently. Hey, Rebecca. No, I've never checked my blood sugar in my life. Yeah, apparently Megan Thee Stallion was doing like some sort of Instagram live thing and was sort of rocking out a bit to fucking Nickelback. Hey, Farrell. Better than turkey. Is there hey Vanna? Is there actual scorpion in it, Stacy? No. Well, that's good then. Hey, Anunnaki. Today's my dad's birthday, and my sister was asleep, so we had to whisper sing happy birthday. Hold on, your sister didn't even wake up to wish him a happy birthday? Jeez. Nickelback sucks. They do tropical fish, but apparently Megan Thee Stallion likes them. I would never drink a scorpion. Typo in the credit. What typo? There's no... is this because it's a minuet instead of minute? Are you trying to, like... Still trying to do the... Oh, it's supposed to be minute. It's minuet after the dance. You know, like... A minuet. It's a type of dance. Or a type of song, type of music. Oh, and yes, happy birthday to Vanna's dad. Happy birthday to Vanna's dad. Hey, Zach. The only dance I know is the gritty. He doesn't know about me. Probably for the best. Probably for the best. Rebecca's ChatGPT. So you know how beer bottles have... So buying these, like, because they've got like the twist off caps, like because of the kind of caps they've got, drinking, Pop Shop brand cream soda. The Pop Shop brand cream soda. It is not alcoholic. It's not alcoholic, but because it's got that type of like twist off cap, it always reminds me of something. So you know, like beer bottles will have that type of just like bloop, that twist off cap. Over in the UK, at least back in the day, I don't know if it's changed now, but at least back in the day, that wasn't really a thing. you'd need to use a bottle opener to. Why is there a poo on the bottle? It's clearly supposed to be like ice cream or whipped cream or something like that, and they just yeah. I think it's supposed to be like a bit of ice cream, and it just yeah. It looks like poop. It absolutely looks like poop. Not all beers have twist cap. No, but there's a few brands that do. So yeah, but yeah, in the UK, back in the day, it wasn't really a thing. You would need to use an actual bottle opener to take the cap off. So one year, once upon a time, I don't know, I don't even know if I was born yet or anything, but this is a story my mom has told me. One year, my mom's parents were visiting over here. Um, and she grabbed, a bottle of beer out of the fridge and just, because I mean, it's what you do. You don't really need for like a Labatt or a Molson. You don't need a bottle opener for that. You can just twist the cap off. But that wasn't really something my grandfather had ever really seen. So she twisted the cap off, and he was like, "Holy shit! I'm impressed." Yeah, he was very impressed with her. He thought that she was just really strong. Just as man, how much you drinking that you're just twisting those things off? Doing your paw proud. So is that a thing? And is that not a thing in the U.S.? Because again, here in Canada, most of the major beer brands here in Canada, Molson, Labatt, Alexander Keith's, quite a few others. Most of the major beer brands, you don't need a bottle opener to open it. You can just, by hand, twist the cap off. I would not do body shots. I don't do shots. I don't do shots. I don't drink. It says in the U.S. Is there do you need to actually do you need to use a bottle opener for beers for U.S. beers? Is it not a thing where you can just really? Man, so Canadians just look weird to the entire world then, I guess. And to specify, when I say twist top, I don't mean soda bottle twist tops. I don't mean the ones where you can put the top back on. I don't mean the type you get on soda bottles. Take an extra shot for me? Thanks, BK. I don't mean the type you get on soda bottles where you boop, 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 and then it's just, yeah, I mean, it's just caps you can take off by hand without needing to grab a bottle opener. I imagine very few Canadians really, when they're just drinking a beer home. Yeah, at bars, they use openers just because they're opening a lot of beers every night, so just for their hand's sake. But, I think most Canadians, when they're just having some drinks at home, on the weekend or whatever, and they're just having some beers at home, they just twist the cap off by hand and toss it. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's kick off with a party. What kind of party is this? A crown party. It's an opera gala. It's a gala. An opera gala. From Professor Catherine Noailles. So let's go to the gala. What is my favorite drink? I do like cream soda, honestly. Use a lighter to take off a beer cap. Strawberry banana smoothies. I do like smoothies. Robot Alphonse says. I mean, they're... Hey, ugly hobo. Cream soda's classic. Coffee? Never had coffee. I've never drank coffee, and I don't imagine I ever will. Ousted and embittered. A woman stands, fuming by herself, and just simmering with resentment. Resentment is a poisonous emotion to those who allow it to darken their hearts. But it's fantastically useful to people like yourself. Dishonest pretexts. You find yourself speaking again with Michael Pelletier, the chemistry student. He seems to be quite taken with the woman in front of him, but something about her motive seems more unsavory than most. Careful choices. Frapp? No, I've not. Hey, Frank. Two guests in this room seem absolutely paralyzed with the weight of the rumors that they bear within their hearts, but neither of them are willing to speak for fear of discovery. Perhaps if we were to get one of them alone, things would be different. So I can get church gossip. Don't really care that much about the church, honestly. Oh. Bye, Stacy. Thanks for coming by. Have I ever been drunk? Yes. I didn't really enjoy it. Yeah, here we go. You find yourself speaking again with Michael Pelletier, the chemistry student. He seems to be quite taken with the woman in front of him, but something about her motive seems more unsavory than most. I live soberly. I do now. I mean, I never drank heavily. Yeah. Once in a while. Yeah, once in a while I would drink, but... Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it, so I just stopped bothering. It really is that simple. I did not enjoy the feeling of being drunk, so I stopped drinking. You find yourself chatting with Michael Pelletier, the promising chemist, as well as the noblewoman who invited him to this particular soiree. Thank you again for bringing me here, Michael says to his host. I never thought they'd see the day when a noblewoman took such interest in me. What have I drank? Molson Canadian, Labatt Blue, Alexander Keith's, Smirnoff Ice, and Strawberry Daiquiris are the 5. That's like the extent of the alcoholic beverages that I've imbibed in. Hey, Troll Police. Day 1 of my diet and no alcohol. Nice. Good luck, Troll Police. I hope that goes well. I did also try Bud Light and found it undrinkable swill. Oh, this? Think nothing of it, Michael, she laughs. Though, a certain rumor has piqued my curiosity. I hear that you've been traveling in the same circles as some prominent revolutionaries. Got my passport renewed today. And told the lady it has been a rough 10 years. Fair. That's, yeah. I think everybody feels that one. Michael swallows nervously before continuing. Do these rumors displease you, madame? Quite the opposite, in fact. One imagines that if you are regularly in their presence, you would hear certain damaging things about their activities. Things that, if brought to light by the proper sources, would reveal the true danger of their cause. You would have me become a spy? No. Spies skulk in the dark, dear. You just repeat what you hear to me. Hey, nice. This makes things easier. What would my spy mistress say about this? This choice will solve the problem via your cunning spy mistress, Therese. Thinking about the conversations you've had in the past with Therese, you realize that this whole plan is extremely risky, and that the actual objectives are uncertain. Potentially aggressive actions need both a clear plan and a sound end goal. With this considered, you explain as much to them. Madame de Caux makes a good point. This feels like I would be placing myself in danger for questionable games. Besides, I've only been in Paris for less than a year. I'm barely a player in this particular game. Merde! The aristocrat hisses to herself. Madame de Caux, you've shown an uncommon canniness for a commoner. This plan could have easily backfired. She excuses herself, and eventually Michael smiles at you. I'm in your debt, Madame de Caux. Listening to her could have spelled disaster for me. When I once said that beautiful women were my greatest weakness, I had no idea how true it turned out to be. Hey, gain credibility. For a taste of something truly ironic, since I've been here, I've managed to overhear rumors of some truly damaging goings-on amongst the aristocracy. It's the kind of thing you might find yourself interested in. Yay, shocking grand gossip. The two of you joke together for a while, bonding over the absurdity of the prior circumstances. Together, you consider starting a rumor that Michael's actually been a spy this whole time. He almost goes along with the plan, until he remembers how easily someone lacking sense of humor could lead to a dagger between Michael's ribs. Still giggling at the idea regardless, the two of you head off in different directions to explore the rest of the party. Hurrah! I chose the smart option. You come across a painter locked in a conversation with some amateur art critic. Judging from the look on her face, she would rather be anywhere else. Something about this woman's skill and earnestness feels like it bears further investigation. Sadly, I'm getting that lady killed, I'm pretty sure. a rather run-of-the-mill interaction with a lone aristocrat at a party. Let's talk to Elizabeth. You happen across a man with an arrogant air about him, talking to a woman. Well, it would be more accurate to say that he's talking at her. For her part, the woman appears to be doing her best to remain civil, and just draw in her sketchbook.
And furthermore, it must even be obvious to you that your work peaked at the 1783 Salon. Why else would all of your portraits of women look the same after that?
Taking a moment to acknowledge you with a nod, the painter returns to her conversation. Her reply is calm, almost bored. My clients dress however they wish for their portraits. My role is merely to capture them as they are in their lives. Is it wrong that so many women wish to look like Her Majesty? Realizing the ground he's treading on, the critic's reply is suddenly more delicate.
There is nothing wrong with an admiration for the Queen. However, that is not the point. The point is that you've reached your ceiling because you stopped focusing on your own merits. Instead, you chose to attach yourself to...
I'm sure this is really interesting to someone, but I'm done now, Madame Lebrun replies, closing her sketchbook. Nice. She looks to you. Madame, would you like to talk somewhere else? I mean, very tempting to tell this dude off, too. To tell this dude off myself. I'd love to. The critic sputters indignantly.
What? You can't just walk away from a critique of your work.
You're not my teacher, and this isn't a critique, because I don't want one. I like this painter lady. And she's just like, yeah, you're boring. Shut up.
But...
Critique is something you ask someone for. I never asked your opinion, so I don't need to listen to it. Fine, I'll increase my peril. Pardon, monsieur, but we have an appointment where we have to be anywhere else. The critic's eyes flash with barely suppressed rage, and he hisses at both of you.
Laugh behind your hands while you still can. This self-importance of yours can't last forever, Lebrun.
He storms off in an angry huff, finally leaving the two of you at peace. Well, that was satisfying to watch. I should invite you to some of my exhibitions. Yay! Gained favor with the painter lady. After a few moments of silence, she turns to you. Who are you, anyway? Do you remember that woman the Baron de Termes hates? Yeah, that's me. That face. Oh god, I love that face. Ugh, what doesn't that loathsome toad hate? Madame Lebrun asks with a roll of her eyes. That is such an incredible face there. I swear that cruelty must be the only thing that makes him get up in the morning. However, if you're the latest object of his hostility, then you must be Yvette Decaux, am I right? Before you can reply, she chimes in again. Please just call me Elizabeth. Formality doesn't suit me. Yay! To what do I owe this infamous honor? I rescue people from conversations with boorish idiots. It's a hobby of mine. Oh, you like to play the heroine? She replies with a surprised giggle. More favor. Though, if you thought he was bad, well, let's just say he's not even the worst one out there, and I've had a few years' worth of experience to learn that. You chat a while longer, but find that you run out of common conversation points a little quickly. Still, it's pleasant on the whole. Hey, I'm sorry, but I must go. There's some other business I need to attend to, she says, inclining her head to the crowds of people scattered elsewhere throughout the party. Perhaps I'll see you again soon?
Huh.
Perhaps, she replies with a thin smile. With that, she departs, disappearing into the crowd.
An intriguing woman indeed.
Therese, your spy mistress, says as she emerges from the shadows. Is she just... Wait, how is she at the... What? Is she just... Did she sneak in and just skulk around? Like, what? Just... What the hell?
Huh.
If my sources are correct, she likes to wander the city in search of inspiration. Look for her on the streets of Paris, and you may spy an opportunity to truly catch her eye.
Huh.
With that said, she slinks back into the shadows, and you are left to your own devices once more. Guest has apparently been entrusted with valuable knowledge, only to make the mistake of getting extremely drunk afterwards. A single chambermaid has been told to watch over him, but you've never been one to let such a petty obstacle get in your way. This looks like the Handmaid's Tale. As I've said before, Rampage, if we owed anything to the villa, I never heard anything about it. They never reached out to me. I never got a phone call or an email or a bill or anything like that. So if we owed them anything, I was never told. Which means that the 5,000 in damages, I'm going to go ahead and guess that that's just complete and utter bullshit that was just completely made up by some jackass. Yeah, I'm going to guess that some jackass just made that up out of whole cloth. Hey, Vanna, you're back, You're back, thanks. Welcome back. Anyway, a woman stands, fuming by herself, and just simmering with resentment. Resentment is a poisonous emotion to those who allow it to darken their hearts. But it's fantastically useful to people like yourself. Across the room, you spot someone fuming by themselves. Her clothing is resplendent and generally above the station scene at this party, and she carries herself with quiet dignity. Yet, nobody is talking to her. That alone makes her someone worth investigating.
Huh.
Ah, bonsoir, madame, she says with a mild inclination of her head towards you. Here to rub salt in my wounds, I take it? Just tell me what went wrong and I'll start salting. That's actually kind of I do like that one. Not particularly. In fact, I'm here to help. Well, that's sweet of you to say. I doubt it. You don't know what troubles me, nor do I think you could possibly help. Fair. To put it simply, Her Majesty the Queen, sent an intermediary. This servant politely requested that I remove myself from Versailles temporarily. Which means that by the time my transgressions are forgotten, so will I be forgotten in turn. This means I'll never be invited back to the palace, which is an absolute disaster. I've never been more furious in my life. Did you at least do anything exciting before your fall? Well, revenge is just one small secret away.
Huh.
Revenge, you say? One loose-lipped secret would dishonor me. My chances may be slim, but what you're asking would make it impossible for me to return to society's good graces at all. Have you gone mad, or do you just not care at all? Oof. Fair enough. She whirls away from you, and without even a simple farewell, she storms away. Some of the other guests whisper about you behind their hands. Fair enough. Shrugging off this setback, you begin to search for something else to do at this party. Hopefully you'll be able to salvage something from all of this. Oh, hey, you could run across Elizabeth there. 2 places to run across Elizabeth. Nowhere to run across friggin' person I want to run across. But first, rumors. Queen recently seen bedecked in a spectacular new diamond necklace. Sign of royal power or unnecessary excess. Sell the gossip. Group of aristocrats have been trying to secure foreign sources of grain. Is it, as they claim, to distribute to starving farmers, or to hoard for themselves? Crown's already weak, so sell that. Alright, let's go meet with Elizabeth. A female painter is looking for a famous painter is looking for inspiration. Perhaps you can help her find it. Perhaps you can help her find more than that. While exploring the streets of Paris, you find yourself on a calmer street than most. The cacophony of the city fades away, and things are quiet, other than for the sound of a few pigeons feasting upon some grain that's been carelessly spilled in the road. What? Is it? Are other people having problems as well? Is it buffering for everybody, or can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me right now? Oh, it's working now? It's working now? Okay, good, good. Good, good. Right. You pause to watch them and wonder what it must be like to be content with something as simple as a handful of seeds. Is it a better life? Then again, you've never seen a pigeon that still had all of its toes, so it can't be all that nice. Just as you're about to look around for something more stimulating, you spot a familiar face. Oh, Yvette, what are you doing here? Wandering the city, hoping I'd run into you? What cheap romance did you pull that line from? You're lucky that it's charming when you're the one saying it. Ha 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 ha! Flirt successful. I'm out here searching for something interesting to draw. Any ideas? Oh, you just sent an emoji? Mine was just buffering because I was trying to get to real time. Tavern or fountain? Yeah, let's go with fountain. There's a beautiful fountain that's not far from here. Would that work? Magnifique, she says, clapping her hands together. Let's go! The two of you walk over to the fountain where you met Pierre not that long ago. It's still as beautiful as you remembered it to be. The square has plenty of people in it, but it's not uncomfortably packed. Elizabeth seems happy with it. I see what you mean. It is beautiful. Normally I focus on a single subject, but I haven't drawn a crowd in a very long time. She sits at the fountain's edge and starts to unpack her supplies. Yay, favor! She starts drawing, faster than you've ever seen anyone draw before. There's no hesitation in her movements. Instead, she sketches with the confidence that can only come from decades of practice. Jump in the fountain? Maybe. Oh, that is good, she mumbles under her breath. I've spent so much time worrying about people, but if I just draw their reflections in the water, all I have to do is focus on the shapes. After some time, Elizabeth's feverish drawing begins to subside. What started as a storm of lines and sketching winds down to a few careful marks as she works to get everything just so. Eventually, she stops altogether and lays the sketchbook on her lap. Hey, Stacy. Gin, dark rum, 151 proof rum, light rum, vodka, grenadine, pineapple orange juice. Hey, Elf. Her hand finds yours, and you both sit there for a while, and just watch the world go by together. Her voice is quiet, barely louder than a whisper. I don't think I'm out of my slump just yet, but this is the closest I've felt in a long time. It's a lot of liquor. Fair. Well, who am I to judge? She squeezes your hand slowly, tenderly. Return her affection. You squeeze her hand back, savoring your closeness together. I mean, I was hoping for on a ride. I suppose I can hook up with the painter lady before she inevitably gets killed for being too close to the queen. A doomed romance is still romance. Your index finger idly brushes along the top of her hand, and for the first time you notice something there, firm and unyielding. Her wedding ring. She notices your change in expression. He doesn't know, and I don't think he needs to. Of course he doesn't. This is just about us. You stay and chat a little while longer, commenting and passing strangers, and trying to determine who would be more interesting to draw. Your mind often wanders back to what any of these people would say if they knew what the two of you were doing together, just paces from them. Should have had a cum zero. Hey, Jordan. However, none of these strangers notice. Without realizing it, they treat you and Elizabeth like any other pair of people in the world. And it's freeing. Like you've been holding your breath your entire life, and are finally able to exhale. As the sun starts to dip in the sky, Elizabeth stands up and gathers her things. She stops to scribble a note in her sketchbook, then tears out the paper and hands it to you. It's an address. Can you write me a letter when you want to see me again? Rendezvous with Elizabeth are now available. With that, she walks away, stopping only to glance back one last time before she leaves you in the square. After a few minutes, you decide to head home, your mind still swimming with emotion. You arrive home to find your spy mistress, Therese, waiting for you outside.
Huh.
You've managed to meet up with this painter again, no?
She asks, looking through her book. How does she know that?
Huh.
If you want to continue down this path with her, you'll need to join her on a rendezvous. It'll encourage her to drop some of her defenses, so to speak. Judging from what I know, she'd probably enjoy something relaxing. Taking in this advice, you head upstairs to think it all over. Actually, what's the next party? Revolution. What do I have that's good for the Revolution? Any of the La Françaises would work, okay? Elizabeth again. Okay, I'm gonna need a few minutes to poop. I'm gonna need a few minutes here. I apologize. I am very sorry about that. I'm very sorry about that. That just came out of nowhere, and whew, that was. Alright, what did I miss in the chat here? Giving yesterday's milkshake? Could be. Could be still a little bit of that, and... Thankful for me even when I've got the shits. Thanks, Jordan. Canadian had poutine from a Canadian-themed diner in the US. You can't twerk to Enya? Yeah, you absolutely can twerk to Enya. Whew. Yeah, that came out of nowhere. I'm honestly not completely sure I'm totally done. I think I'll probably be pooping again later tonight. I don't think that's my last poop of the night. Hey, Ryan. Anyway. Hey, J-Dot. You run across a famous painter trying to prevent a past legal matter from troubling her present or her future. Walking the crowded streets of Paris, you gasp in the oppressive heat. Every time you inhale, it feels like you can smell every single person around you. Yeah, that's never pleasant. Just as you feel the relief of a cool breeze, you notice something out of the corner of your eye. It's Elizabeth, the painter, and she's talking to someone through an open door. Her foot is firmly planted in the doorway. No, monsieur, this isn't a joke. I'm willing to pay a very reasonable price for it, and... Pilgrim hat? No. Ow! She yelps as the door slams shut on her foot, leaping back as she recoils with pain. Before she can put herself back in harm's way, the door shuts with a bang. How would you like me to burn his house down? Elizabeth, are you alright? I'm fine, she manages to give you a genuine smile as she rubs her foot. This isn't even the first time this has happened today. Years and years ago, when I was getting started as an artist, I was caught painting portraits without a license. Yes, really, that's illegal. Don't laugh. Really? It used to be illegal to paint without a... What? Olden times were weird. Not only did I have to pay a mountain of fines that I could barely afford, the black mark on my reputation nearly cost me my career before it started. However, all my old paintings are still circulating, and the fact that they are still out there doesn't look good for me. So I'm trying to buy them all back. As you can see, she says, pointing to the door, Some of my old customers aren't exactly fond of the idea. You look at the door and wonder if there's anything you can do to help. Monsieur, please give her a chance. She's just trying to maintain her reputation. You can hear someone uncertainly shifting around on the other side of the door. The door opens and the man slowly steps outside.
What does your reputation have to do with my painting?
I need to buy that painting back because I sort of made it illegally, Elizabeth admits. I never meant to deceive you, but please, let me get rid of it.
But I like the portrait, he mumbles. My wife commissioned it for my birthday.
Well, oh, Elizabeth replies, mulling over the problem. What if I painted you a new one instead? She ventures with a smile.
Only if you still pay for the old painting, he grumbles.
Ugh, fine. The two of them spend the better part of the next 10 minutes sorting out the specific details, of which there seem to be many. Eventually, they reach something mutually agreeable. Cowboys won the game today. Good for them, good for them. He goes back inside, and, after a long pause, Elizabeth breathes a sigh of relief. Thank you, Yvette. I'm amazed that you managed to get him to see sense. This is going to make things a lot easier for me. Yay! The two of you walk and talk together, still riding the energy of your success. Eventually, you both part ways, and you head home. Yeehaw! Alright. Time to rest up. Decided to take the day off and spend some time at home resting and recuperating. Feel recharged, exhaustion passed. Yay! Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Nice. Cher Yvette, would you like to join me on June 29th for a day spent at the Jardin des Plantes? Bisous. What does bisous mean? Kisses. Ah. Neat. Dolly Parton. I mean, she's not someone I listen to, but I have immense respect for her. Do you remember the scene on The Simpsons where the bartender, Mo, covers his mouth with a beer glass and he's like my favorite team, the Atlanta Falcons? Yep. Yeah, I do remember that. Dolly Parton was on a halftime game. Yeah, I mean, like, Dolly Parton, it's not... I'm not into country, so she's not someone I listen to, but goddamn do I ever respect the woman. You know, she is one of humanity's treasures, really. Fave Thanksgiving dishes, spaghetti and meatballs. Anyway, yeah, of course I'll meet with her. I got me a rendezvous with a lady who will probably be decapitated. I now regret that I put so much effort into strengthening the revolution. Recreate my stew. Alright, revolution. This should go over fine. My favorite dish for Thanksgiving. I mean, you know, the turkey. I do like the buttered carrots. Yeah. Bribe my peril down very slightly. Really need to find a way to reduce my peril. Skulk, meh. An ambitious revolutionary is in need of introduction to someone more well-established than himself. Such need is often a valuable opportunity. The architect, Christoph, is locked in a conversation about noble privileges that he doesn't want to be in. Perhaps you can rescue him. Run-of-the-mill interaction with a lone revolutionary woman at a party. Honestly, I don't really care too much about revolution party, or revolution gossip. This gives me a chance to maybe reduce my peril, so. Let's see if I can reduce my peril a little bit. You come across the architect Christoph, who's currently talking with some nobleman about taxation. You're not really certain how he was drawn into this particular conversation, but judging from Christoph's barely concealed frustration, you get the feeling it was by no intent of his own. Really, I must go, Christoph insists. All I was saying earlier is that if the nobility of France have most of the money but functionally pay little to no taxes, it's plain to see how such a thing could never last, no? Eventually something is going to break. Buttercake? I don't know, I just like... I mean, the turkey is my favorite, but I don't know, it's... I don't know, I do like the carrots. I do like carrots. Smothered in butter. Green beans smothered in butter.
Nonsense, you'll say soon enough, the nobleman chuckles, intercepting Christoph as he goes to leave. Such arrangements are the bedrock of a just monarchy. Think! How many kingdoms in Europe are balanced in such a way? None, monsieur. No other kingdom in all of Europe still allows the nobility such a privilege. They haven't, for a very long time. Perhaps there's a reason for that?
Leftover cranberry sauce to make cosmopolitans. Interesting.
Oh, well, that's because of our unique situation. You foreigners simply don't understand. For example...
He wants to be in this conversation as much as I want to be paying your share of taxes. Dang. Monsieur, why don't you leave me alone with Christoph? I'm sure I can convince him.
Oh.
You wish to take care of this for me? Splendid. It's nice to have someone who knows how important my time is, he says, suddenly coming to the conclusion that it is he who was the one being inconvenienced all along. Hey, lost some peril, nice.
The older nobleman disappears to badger someone else, and Kristoff waits until he's entirely gone before turning to you.
Normally I'd relish the opportunity to verbally trap someone like that, but you've probably just saved me from myself, Yvette. So you have my thanks.
You chat with Kristoff for a bit, and laugh behind your hands together at your now departed conversational partner, before parting ways. Now, if only I could have a couple more conversations that reduce my peril. You are set upon by a fiery young man who seems suspicious of any threats to the revolution's cause. His beautiful features seem to belie a perilous fervor and a will of iron. Something about his dangerous demeanor feels like it bears further investigation. Speaking with a revolutionary woman, you feel like you should be able to obtain some valuable gossip. However, first you'll have to contend with an interloper, whose faux concern seems hell-bent on stymiaing conversation at every turn. A pair of guests harboring valuable rumors are afraid to speak them aloud for fear of being implicated in the process. Do you need anything more than that? Rebecca is a bot. Gossip's more useful. You find yourself in the middle of a conversation with a woman deeply connected to the revolution, and someone called Pauline Léon. Your conversation partner is fiery, and tends to focus more on rhetoric than anything else. But it could be worse. She could be boring. Took you 12 minutes to go poo-poo? Yeah, Tropical, it took a few minutes to get started. It was a big one. It was a big one. Squatty potty? Nah. It becomes clear that she considers nobody beyond reproach, which generally means that she enjoys excoriating them for their various perceived failings. The outrageous rumors she's discussing at the moment are sure to concern the goings-on of the revolution. Well, that's not true of all revolutionaries, interrupts the woman who has strode into the middle of your conversation. I'm not saying that it is. I'm referring to a specific person. If you let this go on, you'll never hear the rest of that rumor. Hold on, I think if you heard the rest of her story, it would become much clearer. I assure you that I am both specific and egalitarian with my personal venom. I like this lady. Specific and egalitarian with my personal venom. That's a cute way of phrasing it. Fine, I can wait then to see if there's any merit to this, the interloper concedes slowly. Now then, as I was saying, your conversation partner says, smiling as she begins to delve deeper into the details of the latest indecorous conduct that she's overheard. Outrageous revolution gossip! Hurrah! With the valuable details memorized, you continue the conversation, only to find that the interloper doesn't have much to contribute herself. Apparently, needlessly chiding others is her chief method of interacting with the world around her. Eventually, you take your leave of them both. Yay! Rent and wages, 90 livres. Squatty potty. 20 minutes, Jordan. And it's not usually, it doesn't usually take that long. This one just hit me right out of nowhere. Alright. Time to visit Le Trompette de Peuple. Cheap revolution gossip. A book salesman was recently arrested for printing profane criticism of the royal family. Do I have the soft seat? It's not as soft as it probably should be. Increase the power of the revolution greatly. And this gossip I'll sell. I always wipe. The hell do you think I am? Of course I wipe. Rendezvous! Does it actually matter what I wear to this? I'm guessing it probably doesn't really make that much difference what I wear to this. But I should probably try to look a little bit nice. After spending the first half of the day getting ready, you head out for your rendezvous. Unfortunately, you can feel the exhaustion set in as soon as you step out the door. Tonight is going to be a long night. You return to the peaceful and well-manicured greenery of the Jardin des Plantes. Couples strolling the past share both furtive glances and nods of respect as they put forth their best efforts to see and be seen. A few minutes late, Elizabeth arrives. After taking a moment to carefully look around, she approaches you. "You look absolutely stunning," she gushes as she looks you over, and you notice her empty hand idly sketching you in the air. Gained a staggering amount of favor with Elizabeth. Nice. Looking away from you, she surveys the location. Elizabeth looks around at Jardin des Plantes and smiles. "Ah, Yvette, this is absolutely lovely. I could use a little relaxation." Gain favor? The two of you stroll together, walking as close as the laws of society will allow, without suspicion. Occasionally you stop to furtively point and giggle at together at particular couples. Some of them are just silly and foolish, but others will make for great inspiration for her work later. A few hours later, you realize that it's starting to get late, and the two of you depart together. After your rendezvous, Elizabeth offers to walk you home. The streets are empty, so you walk down the center of the road, arm in arm. While you can distantly hear the sound of the city's clamor from other streets, you feel like the only people in the world. She glances at you and opens her mouth to speak, but stops and looks away. She does it again. "Elizabeth, is something wrong?" She laughs, and while it isn't loud, it feels like a great pressure has been released. "Nothing's wrong. I'm sorry, this isn't normally a problem for me. I want to paint a new portrait, but not for a client. I want to make something more personal. Yvette, would you like to pose nude for me?" I'd love to. Fantastique. Little favor? It'll take a few sittings, but you can come by my studio whenever you like. First sitting now available. I think we'll both find it very inspiring. She flashes you a smile that was intended to be mischievous, but perhaps signals something else. The two of you walk and talk together for a while longer, but your mind is swimming with the possibilities of what you just agreed to. In your room, you find your spy mistress already waiting for you. Did she offer to paint a portrait of you? It's what I would have done if I were in her position, and had any talent for the visual arts. Regardless, I feel like if you're going to make more progress with her, it will likely be after another rendezvous. I think she enjoys confiding in you. Bonne nuit, madame, she says with a quick curtsy, excusing herself from your room. Eventually, you manage to get to sleep. Excuse me. Alright, let's get naked. Let's get naked. The painter, Elizabeth, has requested that she be allowed to paint a portrait of you. You head over here for your first sitting, which will be at her personal studio. A warm breeze caresses your skin as you check the address that Elizabeth gave you a few nights ago, confirming that you're heading to the right place. Every time you pass a stranger on the street, you expect them to know somehow. To know that you're on your way to a beautiful, fascinating woman's studio, so that she can paint a nude portrait of you for her private collection. Yeah. Private collection. Aw, yeah. You feel nervous. You feel anticipation. Patient. You glance back down at the paper, then at the number on the house. You're here. The studio feels like a separate building that's been attached to her house, and while you assume that her husband is at work, you can see the shapes of servants through the home's windows. How best to proceed? Knock on the door. You rap your knuckles against the door, elegantly but firmly. The door suddenly opens just wide enough for you to see Elizabeth's startled face. Yvette, is that you? Get in, she whispers to you, motioning you inside. Shutting the door behind you, she says, I'm sorry for that. I'm just worried my husband's servants hurt you. Taking a moment to compose herself, she smiles. I'm really glad you've decided to do this. Favor. She leads you to a couch, upholstered in satin. I'll need you to undress and pose for me here. I hope you're ready for this. If you're going to do something, you might as well do it right. Keeping that in mind, you stride over to the couch, slowly disrobing as you walk. The line of discarded clothing forms a trail behind you until finally you drape your corset over the back of the couch and slowly recline into a comfortable position. That was something else, Elizabeth manages to stammer to you. Are you sure you've never done this before? You give no reply other than an appropriately enigmatic smile. Turns out I'm just a natural flirt. After spending more than a few moments admiring you, Elizabeth gives you some specifics on how to pose. A wrist here, an ankle there, laying your head back in order to better catch the light on your face. She walks to her easel and, using a piece of charcoal, starts to sketch out your position on the canvas. You can't see what she's doing, but you can hear her mumble to herself while she works. From the sounds of it, the sketching is going well. A few minutes pass, and you realize how comfortable you are, despite your vulnerable position. Being naked no longer feels different. Like plunging into cold water, the initial shock is really the most noticeable part. Eventually, like the water, it just feels calm and refreshing. A few hours pass, punctuated only by the occasional break to get up and stretch. Elizabeth won't let you look at the canvas on your breaks, so instead you content yourself with staring out the window, at the way the sunlight plays with the leaves on the vines. I have the framing and positioning set. How would you like me to depict you? Paint me as you see me. That way it can be about both of us. Elizabeth doesn't reply at first. Instead, she stares at you quizzically, as if she's uncertain that you're serious. Eventually, she breaks into a broad smile. I think I'd like that very much. Yay, favor! She starts drawing again with a fresh energy, scribbling with her charcoal all over the canvas. When you finally break for the day, Elizabeth takes off her canvas apron, makes some tea, and brings out a few small pastries while you get dressed. In the midst of devouring said pastries, you realize that you're surprisingly hungry for someone who spent the day sitting in one place. After spending an hour chatting and looking at your figure sketched out on the canvas, you decide to head home. Out in the street, your footsteps feel lighter, the world seems brighter and more in focus. You'll have to return at a later date in order for Elizabeth to finish this painting. What a day. Ooh, a birthday party. Viscountess Carmen Orleans requests the attendance of Yvette Decaux to their birthday party. Bourgeoisie party. And this one is church gossip. What I give a shit about the church. Viscountess... Yeah, what is the party? Viscountess Audrey Mézières. Choir recital. So I have one that the church doesn't hate. Never pronounce bourgeois. Never pronounce bourgeois as bourgeois again. It's the bourgeois. The bourgeoisie. I figure if I'm gonna play a game set in France, I should at least make an effort to pronounce the French words vaguely close to how they're actually pronounced. Bearing in mind that I am extremely Anglophone. Honestly, yeah, I don't even... Screw it, I'll wear the provincial outfit, I don't care. Reduce my peril again. A holy intrigue. Rather run-of-the-mill interaction with a pious woman at a party. You come across a priest, off in a corner, hiding from the other guests. He seems bookish and shy, but also quite sweet. Something about him feels like it bears further investigation. Dark Mirror, you're approached by a woman wearing a green emerald about her neck, and something about her feels wholly too familiar. Is it because she seems to know so much about your past, or is it something else? Your presence hasn't gone unnoticed by those who consider themselves extremely pious. For some unbelievable reason, they doubt the honesty of your intentions here. This might be an ideal chance to turn their attacks back on them. Hey, Cassie. Yeah, I never got a bill. So, it seems to me that that's one of those things that... It sounds to me like someone just completely made it up. Like they just lied. Like somebody is just lying. Is what it comes down to. Like somebody decided to just lie. Because you can... Did you know that you can do that on the internet? Did you know that there's nothing that actually stops people on the internet from just lying? Outrageous! Who would expect anyone to lie on the internet? What is this world coming to? I ask you. Just crazy, right? Anyway, yeah. Let's see if I can reduce my peril here. With a sigh of relief, you manage to find a breeze from a nearby open door. It's gotten so hot that you feel like you're going to pass out. You're already absolutely certainly you've already started to sweat through your makeup. All the same, you check a mirror to make sure that neither of your eyebrows are trying to flee their assigned positions. Thankfully, they've managed to hold steady. Johanna. Holding onto the arm of a particularly powerful gentleman, but you can tell that she's the one guiding his steps, not the other way around. Yvette, I can't believe that you're here, she says with a note of excitement in her voice. I was just telling this fine gentleman here all about you. It's such a shame to hear about how the Baron de Termes absolutely humiliated you in front of all those people. I can't imagine how awful it was to endure such a vile debasement. Truly unfortunate. The gentleman with her looks over you and gasps.
I remember hearing of this. Such unfortunate business,
he says with pity, which is not exactly the emotion you hope to inspire in people tonight. Credibility? Boo. Well, all things considered, you've done quite well for yourself, Johanna says, scrutinizing you carefully. In a provincial village like yours, I can see why Armand would have taken quite a liking to you. Then again, I imagine it's easier to be so ambitious when you have nothing to lose. Spoken truly like a person who's always had resources to work with. Every resource I have, I clawed from the dirt of my circumstances, she hisses at you. Do you think it was easy getting named the sole heir to what little my family had left after they'd squandered it? Oops. Every step I've taken since then has taken me higher. Higher in stature, higher in society, higher in peril. I have succeeded at everything I've touched. It is who I am. The fact that Armand can't see that when I'm... Excusez-moi, Madame de Chanté, the gentleman at her side interjects.
When we spoke earlier, you had described yourself as a woman of modest means. What is this talk of inheritance and greater fortunes?
I just take their things, free stuff. Yep. Stuff in the village. I mean, we threw it out. Like we got rid of most of what was still there. as best we could. What I will say is, it was winter, so there's that shack where they had the dumpsters. Like the dumpsters were just like sort of in a like a little shack, basically. Only so much space in there. Winter, so like around the shack, only so much space because of the snow. So like the couch, like we couldn't do anything about the couch. Like that was like the big thing. Like that was the main thing. We literally, like, there was nowhere to put the couch outside. Like that was just like that was the only like we couldn't. There's literally nothing. Like there was literally nowhere to put the couch. Like we could not. Like we couldn't throw it out. There was nowhere to throw it. So I mean, it's one of those things where it's like I am sorry that we had to leave the couch for them to deal with, but yeah, like it's not going to fit in the shack. We can't exactly just put it on top of a snow hill. You know, the snow in front of it. Like there's a lot of snow in front of it, the garbage shack. So we couldn't exactly just like toss the couch on top of it, or have the movers toss the couch on top of the snow pile. Like it's just like we had no choice with that. Oh, and I think Chantal's bed as well. Chantal's mattress as well. We ran into the same, like, it was the same, basically the same problem with Chantal's bed. Like, is just nowhere to actually leave it. We had to leave the couch and the mattress there. We had to leave them inside. We had, like, there was no throwing them out. Now without blocking something else off. Like we couldn't, because there's nothing, like, with the only, like, bring it out, we would have been blocking, nowhere to put it without blocking the driveway. Like, I felt like I did feel bad about that one. All the garbage goes in the garbage dumpsters. You know, all the garbage goes in the dumpsters, but a big thing like that, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, right? Can have it hauled away. I mean, we didn't really have an opportunity to do that. Oh, my glass seems to have run terribly dry, Johanna gasped in imitation of surprise. Monsieur, would you mind fetching me a drink?
What? Oh, but of course, Madame de Jardin, the gentleman replies, seemingly oblivious.
Huh.
With that, he departs, leaving you alone with Johanna. The woman wastes no time stepping closer to you, her voice low. Looking at the greater picture, I know I shouldn't be bothered by you. In fact, we should be of absolutely zero interest to each other. We're merely two women trying to make our own lives better. However, whether I like it or not, I find my thoughts drawn to you. Thinking about how quickly your star has already risen. Thinking about how achieving those very same advancements took me years. The way she said years, the words years, it sounds like a jagged scar being reopened. No. As I said, we did not get a bill. I'm down with it being a romantic advance. I'm down with it. Hard challenge, so I'm probably going to fail this. This doesn't need to end in open hostility, Johanna. You know that, right?
Huh.
Is Armand's fiancé trying to extend me an olive branch?
Mm-hmm.
Fine, I can accept that for now. I did not get a bill. As long as our circumstances don't interfere with each other's plans, we can be at least civil. Joanna seems to visibly relax. Yay, lost all my credibility. Or no, I lost a little bit of credibility. Lost all my peril. I should get going. My data has yet to return up my drink, and he still needs to be convinced. I have done this one before, but I have done that interaction before, so. Sheep gossip, yeah.
I'm just a bill, sitting here on Capitol Hill.
Play Fortnite? Yeah, not my type of game. Alright, I should at least get some I should try to get some gossip out of this party, I guess. In your experience, the church's parties tend to be quieter than most, and right now, this one is no exception. You're unsure if it's the guests or the venue, but people simply aren't talking as much as you'd hope. Right as you're about to give up, you notice someone who looks nearly as bored as you are. She's staring at the other guests with an expression you can only describe as barely concealed contempt. She notices your approach. Bonjour, she sighs. I assume... Witcher 3. Again, not my kind of game. I assume you're having trouble starting a conversation as well? I swear, some people seem to think that the moment they align themselves with the church, that they have to exorcise themselves of any remaining mirth or wit. No, so the next game I play... I mean, after, I've still got a few more episodes of this. I've still got a ways to go in, here in this game. Still got a little ways to go in this. In terms of my Let's Plays, I'm gonna do some... some quickie games, over the course of December. My, Life is Strange Let's Play, the last episode of my Life is Strange Let's Play, will come out, I think, February 8th. Like games where you can choose decisions that impact the character in the future. I mean, I do. And yeah, Vanna, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I actually do have Cyberpunk. I did buy Cyberpunk. I've played a little bit of it. Not something I'll play on channel, I don't think. It's not. I don't think it's something that'll play on my channel. Just something that I'll play for myself. Your mom's a holy intrigue. Very nice, Jordan. Very nice. But yeah, so... In terms of, games that I'll play for my channel, for, my Let's Plays, got 2 more weeks of, Life is Strange videos to post. For December, I'm just gonna do, a bunch of, sort of one-and-done games. I've got the 3 Emily is Away. I've got Emily is Away 1 through 3. So I'll play those 3. And there's a couple other sort of short games that I'll do. And then starting in the new year. This is something I've been threatening for a year now. This is something I've been threatening for a year. So starting in January. Final Fantasy. I'm going to play through the Final Fantasy series. From 1 all the way through to 16. Skipping 11 and 14, those are MMOs. I won't be playing 11 or 14 because those are MMOs. So I won't be playing those on my channel. But, 1 through 10... 12, 13, 15, and 16. Hey, Pepe Sylvia! Thank you for the super sticker, Pepe. DLC? Yes, I'm aware of the Phantom Liberty DLC, Cassie. Still have not progressed because of a glitch. And no way am I spending $70 when I already spent $60. Yeah. That game did have a lot of bugs. Man, was Cyberpunk ever a glitchy fucking mess when it launched. Ressa, don't take it personally. Good question. Where are they on that? Yeah, that is the case, Vanna. Yeah, we are waiting on updates. I'm looking to see if there's any... They were planning on having it finished by the end of the year. But I haven't seen any... I haven't seen any emails about it. There's no news on their page, so... Weigh in. Bought it because I loved Witcher 3. It's a shame that they launched it because of CEO's greed. I will say, they did fix a lot of the bugs, so Cyberpunk is now playable. Cyberpunk is now a good game. $70 for DLC is unforgivable. That is pretty shitty. I bought the collection, so I bought it like $110 for the game plus the Phantom Liberty DLC. $70 is The Witcher. I have to play it again. Haven't played it in such a long time. That's interesting. So I watched a Let's Play of Cyberpunk. The person I watched used did the Corpo background. For my Let's Play, I decided to do the Street Kid background. I think I actually prefer it over the Corpo. $110, damn. It is. I mean, it's a lot. But I mean, like, it's an expansion. Like, the Phantom Liberty, it's a full expansion. It's even got a new ending. If they added a new entire ending to it, it's a lot of content. It is a big piece of content. Total overhaul of a lot of the systems and petition to release games with other content. I mean, DLC is fine, Vanna. DLC is generally fine. Street Kid's the best one. It is. It's good. You start off fixing it. You start off with a broken nose, popping your nose back into place. I like Cyberpunk because of the inclusivity of different genders. Yep. I will say, gender-locked romances are bullshit. I'm not a fan of gender-locked romances in general in games. It just feels like bullshit. Especially because, they actually have, they record all the lines. Why Final Fantasy now? Because I've been wanting to play it for a while. I've been threatening to play it for a while. So yeah, it's time to finally play it. Anyway, almost done with this episode, so let's finish up the party here. I finally have something interesting to talk about, and not a single one of these people will even do me the courtesy of a smile. It is just so unwelcoming. Retconning the release basically because they didn't finish it. Yeah, I mean, there is that. Like, games being rushed out, being released in an unfinished state. Games being released in an unfinished state is bullshit. DLC, sure. Yeah, more content, great, that's cool. But games being released in an unfinished state, yeah, that is a shitty ass business practice. It's a really bad practice. And it's becoming common again. For a while, like, there was a time where it was common. Back in the sort of early days of video games, it was actually, unfortunately, common. Like, pre-Nintendo, basically. A lot of games would be released unfinished. Nintendo sort of stamped down on that. And then other console manufacturers sort of followed suit. Sega and then Sony and Xbox. You know, for a long time, games were usually released in a finished state. You can occasionally get some shovelware games that were shitty, but most games you could expect to be released in a finished state. Until about 10 years ago. The past 10 to 15 years has seen an alarming increase in games being released in unfinished states with the expectation that they would then be patched. Basically using the player base as unpaid quality testers. It's a shitty practice. Yeah. Then again, perhaps this is a sign for me to keep my tongue to myself.
Huh.
I assume your situation is similar then. My feeling, Vanna, is like, yeah, the DLC should offer genuine content. And should be reasonably priced, yes. So, like, Mass Effect. The Mass Effect series, for example. The Pinnacle Station DLC? That was some bullshit. The Asteroid X-57, the whatever it was called. The one where with the Batarians. That was a good piece of DLC. You know, that was a good way of doing the DLC. Mass Effect 2. Kasumi and Zaid really should have been included from the start. I'm blanking on any of the other DLC from that game. Arrival was really good DLC for Mass Effect 2. That was great DLC. The Arrival DLC was top-notch bit of DLC. Mass Effect 3. Pretty much all the DLC for Mass Effect 3 was good. It was a solid amount of content. And, like, none of the missions were necessary, but they added to the lore. They expanded the game. They gave a little bit more gameplay. They expanded, like I said, they expanded the lore. And then the Citadel DLC is one of the best DLCs of all time. Citadel, genuinely one of the greatest pieces of DLC ever released. So something like that, fuck yes. Still haven't played Last of Us. That one, again, I watched a Let's Play. It's not my kind of game, so I watched a Let's Play of it instead. I enjoyed the Let's Play I watched of it. Maybe I'm just the person you should be speaking to. You? But we've just met! Then again, if I can't talk to you, then who can I speak with? She laughs and begins to let you in on a juicy little rumor you've never heard before. Yay! With said rumor firmly planted in your memory, you stretch the conversation out a little with basic repartee, and just try to be welcoming. The two of you talk for some time, and you briefly forget how quiet and lifeless everything was but a few moments ago. Just as things start to slow down, you slip away to search for other opportunities. Yeah. Oh. Good night, Pepe. What is your type of game? I do like visual novels like this one. Honestly, JRPGs would be more my... Like, in terms of, like, proper games. Basically, any game that has a very... low learning curve. You know, games that, like, any game with a steep learning curve, any game that requires a lot of skill, not generally my thing. The easier it is, the better, the more I enjoy it. Like, I do not have the patience to get good at a game. So, yeah, something like the Final Fantasy games, like the old school Final Fantasy games, totally my speed. Yep, you're worried about tough fights? Just spend some time grinding some levels early on and boom. Just steamroll over everything you come across. No first-person shooters? No. Generally not my thing. Hey. Hi, Jay. I mean, Cyberpunk's a first-person shooter, and I've been playing that one a little bit, but... your presence hasn't gone unnoticed by those who consider themselves extremely pious. For some unbelievable reason, they doubt the honesty of your intentions here. Might be an ideal chance to turn such attacks around on them. You breathe in deep and take in the smell of nearby candles as you survey the party for the best potential targets of your social endeavors. In fact, you manage to spot a cluster of people who should be perfect for just that. Exactly the sort who can provide the best gossip. However, just as you begin to walk over, you're intercepted by a woman who isn't merely wearing a sour look on her face. She instead appears to be living that look. Bonsoir, Madame de Co. Let me save you some time and tell you that your reputation has preceded you. A lot has been said about your conduct, and none of it labels you as a woman of God. So answer me a simple question. What exactly are you doing here? Not live. I'm not playing Final Fantasy live. That one I'll be recording. I'll be recording my Final Fantasy Let's Plays. Whatever happened to forgiveness? I'm here to change my ways. What? You're just here to cast aside your social climbing ways to seek a life of humility? She asks as you attempt to appear as beatific as you possibly can. I suppose that could be possible, she admits, glancing around as if the devil himself was preparing to jump out from a nearby chapel and drag you back into his nefarious embrace. Since the devil fails to appear, she is forced to accept your story. Heh. Without another word, she leaves, both cautious and confused. Nintendo might be your speed? I mean, I always liked Mario. With her dispatched, you approach that promising group you were seeking before, and manage to chat with them for a few minutes before they disperse. As these guests scatter, you carefully rehearse your newly acquired gossip in your head, in order to commit it to memory. It's not your ideal outcome, but you still manage to get rid yourself of that prying fool. If nothing else, that's a victory all its own. Alright, let's sell the gossip and then call it an evening. The trompette de people. Madame, think I read military rumors. Military gossip. Church gossip, I don't give a shit, so. Bishop has called for the censorship of an opera critical of the church. King has signaled his assent, but has taken weeks to make a pronouncement. Is the king taking the request seriously or ignoring it? All cheap gossip. Viscount Richard Rouergue requests the attendance to their garden party on July 17th. Thus, the party is sure to be a most spectacular display of generous crown gossip. Yeah, nothing interesting going on. Alright. Played slightly longer than I normally do. Slightly longer than intended. So, going to call it an evening here. Zelda. I mean, I played Breath of the Wild. Even Breath of the Wild was honestly, getting good at that game takes more, takes some skill. Die for Luigi's Mansion stream. Chantel did buy it. So I do have it on the Switch. I do have Luigi's Mansion. One of the Luigi's Mansion games. I don't know which one. So I do have one of those Luigi's Mansion games. But no, I don't think I'll be playing it. So pretty good odds that I'm probably just going to sleep in tomorrow, so I probably won't come live. Dad will get up early enough to shower tomorrow. I'll probably just, so I probably won't bother coming live. color purple. Sims? Gods, no. Hate The Sims. The Sims is so fucking boring. I don't get it. I don't get the appeal of The Sims. I'm gonna make my Sim cook a meal. And then take a shower. Now I'm gonna send them off to work. Oh, they're home. I'll have them watch TV to unwind. Thanks, Vanna. Sims has no action. I mean, Sims has, like, no anything. Like, there's, like, it's just... It's not even a lack of action. I mean, I play games with no action in them. You know, I play visual novels. Visual novels don't have action. But they have stories. The characters do things. What it comes down to is The Sims doesn't have a story. And, like, I want story. Yo, I'm looking for a story. But that is, like, completely not what The Sims is about. I like when they don't do what you instruct them to do. Except when you woohoo. Anyways, yeah. I'm gonna end the stream here for tonight. And, so thanks for coming. And I'll see you next time I go live. I'll see you next time I'm live. And, you know, you could always tune in. You could always watch my new episode of Life is Strange tomorrow. Episode 3, Part 3. With an absolutely killer fucking song. So yeah, thanks for watching.